No,
Welcome
I didn't
to
really do any
round
wet practice.
7 of Challenger League Season 11. We are here in the United States in Watkins, Glen.
In
A
the United
lovely
States.
old school track, this one, and we're going to have to see how drivers contend with such a fast, high speed circuit like this one. We see Doom Markiner just going through the S's at the moment, getting to that bus stop and into the long right-hander, sorry, and that leads into the boot section just over here, the second half of the track, with a lot more tight corners that will really test our drivers with such low grip
Oh
for
fuck.
sprint race here. Gonna have
I feel like I
Doom
had
Markiner
decent
just
pace
heading
and
onto
then
the
I
line
just...
here, but it is going to be Kata clearing away pole position for the VOs. It's a 29.75, 2/10 clear of Matimar, who joins him on the front row. Ethan, with a strong quali, is starting in third ahead of Lololol in P4. Then the third row, Golormi and Figuera for VPT and Riker order respectively. Then Do Markiner and Saucy on tying for P7 on the grid. They'll share the fourth row regardless of how that plays out on the grid. Wojtek and Kiato filling out row number 5. Then it's Kato in 11th, Pumpkin 6Y with an uncharacteristic 13th. Then it's Mr. Bubbles, Flix, Game on Goose, Urist, and Tixman rounding us off. We've got a full grid, 18 drivers, leading us off to our sprint here in Watkins Glen. Back in America for another race, and
six Y goes to the back of the grid for a penalty for both races.
yes, both races previously. Yeah, that was a penalty he incurred from the last race.
Yeah, I just
And,
want to clarify to the viewers that it's actually the United States GP, not the United States. That's all.
United States. I mean, the track's pretty straight, really. There's a few long straights here. But just in a few moments, we're going to get underway with our sprint race.
Jesus, every single time.
Alrighty then, here we are. 5 red lights and we are underway. Kata heading us off to turn 1. Matimar just alongside. Ethan's getting right up and close as we go through the S's for the first time. Matimar just leading us off to the bus stop. It seems like most people are getting away just fine. And, yeah, Matimar still in front. Kato behind him. Figuera jumping into P3. It's Duke Markiner trying to make a big dive there. Lololol copying a big brunt of the shove there. Ethan into turn 9. There's chaos all over the track at the moment. Even the back markers aren't too far away. Matimar leading us off. Duke Markiner with a big shove there. Kato copying the big brunt of that, and he's lost a bunch of positions. Wojtek is now into P2, or at least challenging for it. Duke Markiner still covering off that position, but it's Golormi in P3 now. Wojtek in 4th, Ethan and Figo fighting for P5 behind them. Kiato, and then Kato, Lololol, and Pumpkin in P7 at the moment. Yeah, no, P9, sorry. I think the timing screens are getting a little fucked up. No, I'm showing fast slap. That is my mistake. Kata in P10 then. Bit of a rough start for him. Then it's Goose and Saucy, then Flix, Urist and 6Y fighting in 14th and 15th. Big battles across the field now, but it's the top 2 running away. Matimar ahead of Doom Markiner. There's going to be big chance for Matimar to improve his standings in the driving standings, of course. He isn't too far away from the top 2 at the moment, and he's got lots of points to catch up on if he wants to get to Kato with time to spare. Doom Markiner with that slipstream, putting in the fastest lap of the race so far. He's trying to go side by side into the bus stop and into the chute. Looks like Doom Markiner has taken the lead now. Matimar still trying to challenge here, but it's Doom Markiner into P1. Matimar following behind still. The 2 fighting away. It's a big pack though behind them. It's got a 6-car fight for P2. Kato going wide. Figuera holding on to P3 for the time being. But it's absolute chaos behind this huge pack of cars behind them. Kato, Goose, Wojtek, Ethan finding trouble as he goes through the S's. Oh my god, that is a massive lag rocket right there. About 4 cars involved in that, and it's even more trouble, even more shoves as we get to turn 6.
Holy shit.
Lord. 6Y getting trouble. Ethan going wide, Goose going wide. It's absolute carnage here in the mid-pack. And it's we're not even halfway through the race. Lololo holding on to P9. A lot of these drivers might not even get points this race. I believe it's only top 12 that get it for the sprint. But we're going to go back to the lead. Matimar still challenging with Dumarkina. They're a full 2.5 seconds away from the next closest driver, which is Figuera. He's cleared up some of the ruckus behind him. Kata behind in P4, though, will be hoping to catch some slip. He's made a mistake, though. He might have lost the slipstream with that error. It's Golormi in the P5, followed by Kiato, Pumpkin, Kato, and Lololol making their way through the S's as well in 8th and 9th. 6Y heading a big group of 4 cars. He finds big trouble into the... Oh my goodness, Ethan and Eurus going super wide down that long right-hander, exiting the bus stop there, and it's even more trouble for the Kit Kats just next to them. Still Matiman and Dumarkina side by side through the S's on lap 8. They are neck and neck, and they are not giving up the either of them. As they dive it in, Matiman finds the patch of grass, but it might give him a bit of stabilization. The car, he's holding on to the lead for now. And Dumarkina
What the
might
fuck
have
is
lost some
Bubbles
ground there.
doing?
Figuera and Kato with some maybe a little bit of teamwork have actually caught up somewhat to the top 2. We'll see how they can progress with the 5 laps to go. Golormi and Kiato just battling here. Golormi getting through Kiato, making a little bit of an error there. Pumpkin and Kato also fighting for P7
Not much
here.
to
Further
fight for
back,
after.
we've got a little train behind Lololol. 6Y wants to make a move on, though. He goes side by side. He gets into the lead as we head into the outer loop corner. Lololol is still side by side, and Lololol just gets a little bit of a shove there. Wojtek finding trouble, and it's still an absolute mayhem here. Ethan going completely into the wall there. What has happened to his race? He was started in P3 today, and he's at the risk of getting no points for this race. Bubbles, Cassia, Tixman, and Flicks behind them as well. Flicks just fighting too much trouble with the wet conditions. Matimar, though, leading us off on lap 10, halfway through lap 10. 3 laps to go after this one. He's got not the most comfortable lead, but it's relatively comfortable considering what he's had to deal with all race long. Dumarkina is still trying to put any sort of pressure on the pole, with just 3 laps to do anything here. Kata actually started taking the fastest lap a couple of laps ago, and he's holding on to P3 for the moment ahead of Figuera. That's Golormi on a race of his own now. He's run away from the rest of the pack behind him. Kumpkin trying to hold on to P6 with Kato in a hot pursuit.
For fuck's sake.
Looks like he's got the better speed as they head into turn 8. That becomes the inside into turn 9, but Pumpkin needs to give the position there, I think. He just doesn't have the room to really fight that. But he might have the chance to later. He's really finding the script difficult, and Kiato, his teammate, knows exactly what that problem is. It looks like Kiato has actually been let through by Pumpkin, and Kiato might have that speed to get past Kato. It's 2 positions in a space of 3 corners for Kiato. Good teamwork there from the...
Oh my god, it's literally impossible.
Ethan,
fuck you, bro.
There was 4 cars going wide into the toe of the boot here. Wojtek finding trouble. Saucy, Eurus, Bubbles all in trouble as we enter the last lap, and Matimar has extended his lead quite significantly, though it is a massive battle for P2. Duke's Marketer trying to find a way through Kata, and it's still quite tight. Kata just sliding there. He has no grip there, but it is going to be Matimar who holds on to the win. We'll see who comes up in P2. It's neck and neck to the line. Kata holds on for P2. Duke Marketer in P3. Then it's Figuera, Golormi holding on to P5 ahead of Kiato, Pumpkin, Kato. 6Y will take 9th. Ethan in 10th. Goose in 11th. Then it's Wojtek who takes 12th, barely over Saucy. That was a bit of a tough one there for everyone involved, as the last few drivers are just making their way down to the end of the track. A little bit of a timer discretion there. It needs to be fixed up later, but very tight contested race there. Lots of battling, lots of fighting, and a lot of crashes. And it is Matimar taking the win here in the sprint race for Riker Auto. Kata and Dumarkina will follow him onto the podium. Figuera with a solid result in P4, gapping the rest of the field quite nicely. 5 second gap between the top four, sorry, and everyone else. Gorlomi in P5, then it's the Nordic Blizzards Kyoto ahead of Pumpkin, not being able to take that position away from Gorlomi. Good teamwork, though, from the two in holding off Kato, though, in P8. Then it's 6Y 9th, Ethan 10th, Goose in 11th, and Saucy in P12, just edging out Wojtek by 100th. There was a little bit of a shove there, so I'm not too sure if that's going to stay or go. Urist in 14th, Bubbles in 15th, then it's Lol, Kissia, Flix, and Tixman are finishers. Only 23 seconds separating the whole field after 13 laps. And that sort of battling is very ominous, leading on to the feature race, of course, in the dry. But nevertheless, these drivers will be battling with their hearts and their cars. And track position is seemingly a premium when it comes to this track at the moment. So many corners where you need to be on the brakes quickly, and so many corners you want to be carrying a lot of height, a lot of speed into to follow up towards the next straight. So I expect there to be a lot of complaints from the drivers as well after that race too. So many crashes, so many collisions. And the end result means that Matima is definitely a lot closer to the title than he started here today. The gap was 19.5 points starting this race, and with that, P1
33
would have
okay,
done
let's go.
significant damage to just pave away at Kato's lead, and Kato also gaining a few points on our championship leader here. So that three-way fight for the title is getting tighter and tighter as we head into our sprint in just a moment's time.
Yeah, that was a fucking joke of a race. Hopefully,
Alright guys, ready up. That was fun to watch. Let's hope for more. Let's hope for more crashes. Try to stay clean this time. You guys have better grip now, so I've got Matty, I've got Do, I've got Game on Goose on the readies. On the readies.
6Y to the back of the grid, though.
yeah, we need to do quali
Where-
first.
We need to do quali first, brother.
No, just put his car there and leave him there. We can save some time and fuel.
Alright, Matty.
Okay, what are we waiting for?
Alrighty, let's go. Come back. It is nice and
Come
dry
back.
here in upstate New York.
He said come
We are
back.
coming alongside with Matima for our first lap of our feature race qualifying here at the Glen. So after a strong start this race, I believe another win like that and another mid-position finish from Kato might result in Matima taking the lead of the championship by the end of this round. So everything to play for as we get qualifying underway. Kato hoping to come away from this weekend still having the lead, but Kata is also a threat in that title race, and he is currently in P1 with a 28.40. Urist joining him, going below a 28.5, which Matimar did put through on his way to P3 in the standing. 6Y, a little bit of an error on his lap. He will start from the back though, regardless of what happens with him. Lololol might be able to improve on this lap as well. Got a few jumps in. Matimar jumps to the top of the field. Figuera also jumping to P3. Kato into the front, into the second row of the grid as well. Wojtek as well, also able to make an improvement to a 28.57.
I don't think I will.
Mistake there, that might be costly. Kato still hoping to find any more time to bring his lap to the top of the field now. Fourth won't be good enough for him. At least I think he wouldn't want to be starting in P4. He does improve, but it looks like it's only going to be third for him. It's Kata, Matimar, and then Kato are three title protagonists separated by just half a tenth in our qualifying session. It is going to be Kata and Matimar on the front row. Kato in P3. Figuera tying with Pumpkin for P4 there with a 28.37 each. Then it's going to be 6Y, not 6Y, sorry. Saucy and Eurus tying for P6 with a 28.43. Wojtek finishing in P8. Solid result for him. 6Y with 9th in qualifying, starting at the back for today. Kiato will move into
probably deserve a P6,
9th
but
place,
I
and
think
Ethan onto the 5th row of the grid.
when I
Behind him
send
is Lololol, then Doomakana, Flix, Goose, Cassia, Golomi, Mr. Bubbles, and Tixman in 19. I think we had one extra person join in. I'm not too sure because we have 19 drivers now. Someone drove here that wasn't here for the
huh?
for the sprint. Not too sure. There's 3 Kit Kats. I think it was Wojtek. Maybe.
No, Wojtek was definitely there.
Either way,
Wait, what?
we've got another nice long race to
Okay, wait.
ourselves underway.
We actually have 3 Kit Kats. We have Kissir,
Yes.
Bubbles, and Wojtek. But Wojtek was in the race.
One of them joined, right?
Probably.
I think Bubbles joined.
Well, Wojtek isn't on the team, so he can go independent.
Yeah. But he was already driving for them. Okay. Price
Okay.
averted. $33 laps. We know the strategy, guys. Let's get it going. Polska good on. Alright, just Eurus and Do.
I will kick you, dude. Don't make me do that.
Do. Where are you? He's here. He's here. Okay, let's get this started.
Oh man, that was easily 10 seconds.
Alrighty, on to the starting grid. I assume a lot of drivers will be going for that soft tyre.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna
33
go
laps
softs.
are underway, and everyone barring Figuera has started on the soft tyre. Saucy just finding himself pushed wide there into turn 1. It looks like Kato and Matimar have started off quite nicely here as we enter that huge shove there from Kiato and Dumakanuk, losing a lot of time. Massive crash
Don't
there
push me off, bro.
onto the chute. And Matimar has lost a lot of time to his title rivals, Eurus and Matimar going all the way wide. Oh, dude, that is a lot of trouble there. Ethan also finding some issues getting out of the final corner. Saucy going straight into the
Fucking hell,
straight
Matty.
into the wall at turn 1. He might have gone off and out of the race. I'm not too sure what's going on, but for now it's Kata in front. Kata in front. Kato in P2. Then it's Flix. Surprisingly, in the podium positions as of right now. Great start for him. Matima has jumped back into P3, and that's 2 DNFs in the space of 2 laps now. Ethan in P5, still holding on to the position there. He's finding a lot of trouble. Urist, Wojtek, Figueroa, all fighting here. It's
what do I
5
do
cars
here?
going all
Fucking
in.
hell,
Oh my
Wojtek!
goodness, massive lag rocket there. Urist and Wojtek finding a lot of time lost there.
Oops, sorry, Goose.
And,
I hope that
Urist,
wasn't me.
Goose, Wojtek still finding trouble here. The pack behind them even more so. Gorlomi, massive rocket there. Kiato involved again. Kassir and Gorlomi, huge shunt into turn 9, and that's completely ruined their races right there. Insane. So, let's go back to the pack now, sorry. Wojtek, Goose still fighting alongside Goose, and Goose going wide, Wojtek being given nowhere to go there. And it's looking like an absolute mayhem is going on in the mid-pack here. No one wants to give an inch, and everyone wants the position, wants to run away from this huge pack here. That Goose is now leading Wojtek and 6Y finding some trouble into turn 1 too. Let's head back to the leaders though. It's Kata in front, a 1 full second ahead of Kato in P2. Matima fighting with Flix for P3. He knows this position is critical to his race, and Flix, he doesn't want to give it up. He's never been in this position in CL before. And he's got Figueroa for company in P5. And the biggest thing here is that Figueroa is the only one on the hard tyre. He's hoping for a different strategy to everyone. The softs can easily run a 3-stop here with no trouble.
Easily?
But Figueroa may be
3-stop,
wanting
okay.
to avoid stopping, or maybe running a little bit longer than his rivals. Flix making an error there, dropping him to P5. Urist behind him gets right past his Flix, finds the wall in turn 9. And Flix has lost his way down into P7, trying to fight Ethan. They both jump into the pit lane exit as they try to settle their position there. Wojtek and Goose fighting away, Pumpkin right behind them.
some
They go side
context,
by
I
side
actually
into the
did
bus
some
stop and into
light
the outer
practice,
loop. Both go
not too
wide,
much,
both
so I
go
actually
very wide.
practiced
That
a
might
bit,
compromise their entry.
which is why I
into
managed
the
to get
chute.
a
Pumpkin
decent
might be
quality.
going ahead of both of them.
And you can
Pumpkin with the
see
better speed.
the
He's going
huge
side by side
world
with
of
Goose. No, he
difference
is
when
through
I managed
into
to
P8 now. And he's
run
got,
away
he's
from
got
the death pack
straight line speed to make
of
sure
JLers.
that move is done. Flix and Ethan already into the pits after 7 laps of running, and they are both going in.
So I would
for
say
soft.
that
No,
right now
Ethan
I'm
is for
actually
hard tires.
in the
And
fight
a few
for a
drivers
podium.
behind them as
I'm
well
not
into the
too
pits.
far behind from Matty
6Y
and
and
Figo.
Cassia as well. But it is Kata well
Though I'm
and
making
truly
some
in front as we
crucial
start
mistake.
lap 9.
So I think I'm
Kato
gonna
and
go.
Matima both going for the
fuck.
undercut
Okay,
now
that
onto
was
the soft tyre for those two.
stupid as fuck.
Figueroa stays out. Urist moves up into 3rd with those two pitting. Pumpkin, Goose, Kiato.
Yeah, I think now I just
all of the
go
mid-pack
17,
now is deciding
25, and
now's the
that's
time
it.
to head in for the pit stops. Now's the time to refresh those soft tyres. Goose. I think Goose is, no. Goose is jumping like crazy. I'm not sure what's going on with him. Wojtek will have to be very careful about what's going on with the Canadian's internet, because he is all over the track and he might be out of the race too.
Yeah, I lost a lot of time.
No,
Not sure
he's in the
that
pits
was
now. He is in the pits and he is
that was a
out of
good
the
idea.
race. He is out of the race.
I'm still
And for now, with everyone
P5.
pitting, Figueroa is now in the lead of the race. Halfway through lap 10, though, Kata and Kato are very much closing in on him. Matima dropped off a lot of time from Kato. I'm not too sure where that came from, though. Urist now sitting in P5. Flix on fresh rubber in P6 would be a lovely finish for the Bobcats if they stay like this. 6Y in P7 at the moment, as Kato actually takes the fastest lap of the race so far with a 28.05. It's going to be very hard to challenge a lap like that. The two Nordic Blizzards, Kiato and Pumpkin, just finding their way through the outer loop now and into turn 6. Ethan behind them on the hard tyres in P10. Then it's Stu Markiner in 11th. Wojtek and Kassir battling away for P12 now. Wojtek just ahead. Kasia's given no room. And Wojtek not getting a great exit there. It's still going to go side by side. And Wojtek just finds too much on the inside of the final corner there. And he's going to lose the position. Lololol just spectating for now. He might want to get into that fight for P12 now. Three-way into the bus stop. And it looks like, oh my god, that was a bit of a lag shove there. Lololol really copying it there. Golomi and Bubbles behind them, rounding off our current runners.
Didn't leave enough
But
space
it is
there.
Kato with a 1.5 second gap now. He's gapped Kato, and the difference between the undercut really is showing now because Kato and Matima have much older tyres and will need to pit sooner than Kato does. And I assume all three drivers are going for that three-stop strategy. Urist behind them is been very much gapped by the top three, but it will be a solid effort for his troubles, especially given all of the incidents he's been going on through in the sprint race to finish in the top 5. Figueroa behind him on that alternate strategy might be able to do something with those fresh, hard tyres. Flicks and Pumpkin.
With my pace,
oh, Flicks
I
made
think
a big
Figo
error there.
will
He's lost
probably
2 positions in a single
overtake
corner.
me,
Ethan
yeah.
going through as well. He's down into P8. Kiato in
Oh my god.
Few drivers still going through. Kato and no, that is Urist and Figueroa going through. And Urist is thinking, hey, my softs are starting to die off. I might be able to tow us along in these straights just a bit longer. Figueroa is wanting the 2 Portuguese drivers are both wanting to get a move on, though. They don't want to be losing any more time to the top 3. And those contacts are really are going to affect their time at the moment, because they are going... No, they're going a slight bit faster than Matima is in P3, who is about 2 seconds back on Kato, who is, respectively, always made a mistake, though, about a second and a half off of Kato. Kato is comfortable on those tyres as is entering lap 17. It's going to be Kato and Matima in just before the halfway point of this race. They're in for a new 2 new sets of soft tyres. Urist and Figueroa are still holding onto those tyres for the time being. They're going to head right into Matima's slipstream. Looks like both drivers finding some trouble here. They're still trying to find that position here. They might have lost the slip with that contact, though. Urist really finding pain on those
right now, so.
soft tyres, and Figueroa is feeling his hard start to already lose a little bit of grip here. Urist entering the pits now, finding a bit of trouble on that pit entry as he heads in. Ethan also on the hard tyres will be running into P5 now. Do marking it in as well. 6Y making that early stop is into P7. Pumpkin following him, then Flicks, Kiato. Dumarkin coming out of the pits in P11. Kasia in. Golomi through into P12. And Bubbles will be following along his teammate in P14. Wojtek in 15th. Then it's Lololol rounding out our drivers almost a full lap behind Kato here. Kato, absolute pace setter at the moment. Comfortably in the lead of the race at the moment, with still keeping the gap about the same as it was about 5 laps ago. It's a 1.5 second gap after those stops. And Kata does have 1 lap fresher tyres. Kata putting in a personal best lap of a 28.2 in clean air. Very nicely driven from him. A bit of a server issue there. But Kato finding himself losing a little bit of time here. That might be inviting Matima back into this fight. Mati would love to get even more points on Kato in this race and try to lessen the both of them will be really hoping to lessen the amount of points they lose to Kata, who is also very close in the title fight here. He will be in P3 at the moment, but with a win, can definitely close that gap
lap
with
25,
only
right?
6 races after this one, of course.
21, okay.
Is Figueroa in P4 then?
It's still fine.
2.6
It's still
seconds
fine.
behind Matima.
We are
It
fine.
looks like those hard tires are just not going to give him any
I
more
think
pace
Figo
to
is gonna
really
get the
fight
P4.
with the top three at the
be
moment,
honest.
because at the
I'm
moment
just
he's definitely on an
too
identical strategy
inconsistent,
despite
just
his
hitting the grass at random
one less pit stop.
moments.
Now they are
Hitting
just
the wall there
racing
probably
for
cost me 1
position, and
second,
Figueroa is in no man's land.
maybe
We'll
even
have to
2,
make one more pit stop, as will
because the
most of
car
the other drivers
actually
here.
like parked.
Urist in P5, comfortably gapping Pumpkin behind him. Then it's Flicks being led towards leading the mid pack here. Kiato trying to get through. Flicks is finding a lot of trouble on those really worn out soft tires, and but he really doesn't want to pit just now. It might be a bit of trouble to go for a pit stop now, but he does go in. He can't run the softs for 12 laps. He's going to try the mediums as he comes out in P12. Hopefully, that undercut can maybe give him something. Do Markiner through against Kiato. Both drivers finding some trouble. Kiato and Ethan finding a lot of trouble, and 6Y copying the brunt of that as well. The Latvian driver just trying to get through this pack as best he can. He did start from the very back due to that penalty from earlier. And he's gotten
Yeah,
through 3
those,
cars in a single lap.
those
He's
little
into
mistakes
P7.
are costing me a lot.
And
and
Markiner really does
I'm
not want
not
to give it
making
up.
the most out of the softs.
Really big squeeze. Kiato holding onto that slipstream. As it looks like somewhat well behaved as we enter the outer loop and into the boots. But it is 6Y still in front. We're going to see a couple of drivers in for the stops, and it is Kato and Matima. Kato in for mediums,
Okay, maybe I can
Matima
get
in for
some slips
softs.
here.
We're going to have to see if that is a decisive moment in this title battle. In just a few moments' time, Kato is a long way ahead. Should be comfortable to pit and come out in P1. Does so. And he'll be finishing this race on the soft tyre. So Kato now is in a race for P2, and he's going to hope that the mediums can last enough time for the next, 8 laps? Yeah. Next 8 laps. I'm not sure if Matima is going to be able to hold on to the soft tyres for that amount of time. But we'll have to see. He is closing in rapidly on Kato at the moment.
I assume
Just
that
a
Pumpkin is
half-second
still gonna
gap between
pit.
them, and the acceleration and outright speed of those fresh soft tires is really giving him a fighting
Yeah, he's
chance of
gonna
taking
pit
this
now.
P2 position.
Go on, buddy.
Long
Yeah.
way back though, it's Figueroa in P3. Pumpkin making his final stop now, and 6Y joining him into the pits. So is Ethan. And Flick's going through them all on the medium tire. Might be able to challenge for a few more positions with that, as we are just a few laps away from finishing off. Kato still ahead of Matima by just 0.6. It's now 0.8 as they both cross the line. And they had an identical lap time that last trek around the Glen, so Matima will be hoping that his tyres don't die off sooner than intended. Because this medium tyre decision, which initially might have looked a bit cautious, bit strenuous for Kato to hold on to the position, might be paying off in just a few laps' time. There is still 5 laps to go here in our feature race, and it's Kato absolutely running away with the lead here. Matima, though, is trying to get Kato into P2. Kato makes a bit of an error. Matima is into the slipstream now, so it is big chance for the pole to get through on the Frenchman. He'll have to be able to do something with those soft tyres, and it looks like Matima is through. Kato will be challenging him. They're going side by side through the S's. Matima on the outside, though. It looks like he's going to leave the position there. He does go on the outside. Kato going wide. Matima finding a bit of room there. And it looks like Matty is through. Kato with a few mistakes there, and it's let Matima through for the time being. There's still 3 and a bit laps to go for those two, and the softs will be starting to die off now. Kato onto the inside of turn 11, and onto the inside of turn 1. He gets back into the lead, back into second now. And that you might think that Matima's
That was a really good lap, and I screwed it up
all
right
but
at the end.
done now. Let's go back through the field. Figueroa still alone. Eurist even more alone.
Yeah,
Pumpkin,
I'm
6
definitely
wide.
not
Kiano
catching
ahead of
Figo.
Dumark and ahead of Ethan, Golormi,
That's
and
fine.
Flix in
I
P12.
think it was a nice
Bubbles and
race.
Cassia. Not too many battles going on
Overall,
besides that battle for
that
top
start
2
was just
positions. At the moment,
atrocious,
Kato
as
still
usual.
ahead. Matima is still challenging
As
despite
usual,
the
we
absolute
get
wear
like
on those tires. He's got a
high
breakthrough
pinga
into
causing
the
lag rockets.
bus stop,
Maddie also
sorry. And it
caused
looks
a
like he's
lag
through. He might have
rocket.
to hold it in on the inside. Kato might have the inside now into
It's very
the
annoying.
toe. And they head into the heel.
But in the
Kato
end, I
is
also
in the
didn't
lead
have
of this
the
2-pack race,
consistency,
and Kata has
consistency
absolutely
to
blitzed away in the lead. The gap now 5.4
to not make
seconds.
those small mistakes, because I think if I didn't make so
As
many
the two drivers clash
small
once
grass
again into
touches,
turn
I could
1.
definitely,
Matima,
even
those
with my
softs still
normal
have the
pace, I could
better straight
definitely
line
be
speed.
close
He's
to
gone
Figo
wide into the outer loop, but he has the
and
inside
fighting
into the
for
next corner.
P4.
Kato touching some grass there. We're going to head back to Kata. It's still neck and neck between those two. Kata will finish and win the feature race here, but it is Matima who's going to hold on. His tires are so dead, but Kato makes a mistake at the line. Mati will take P2, and Kato P3. Figueroa will finish in 4th again. Wow, what an exciting finish to that race. Eurist into P5, great result for him. Pumpkin in P6, great race for him as well. 6Y from the back to P7, then it's Kiato finishing in P8. Marketer in 9th, followed by Ethan and Golormi, then Flix in P12. 30 seconds behind the lead. Bubbles, Wojtek, side by
There's a
side.
huge
Kassir and
battle
Lolo
at
also
the back.
fighting away there. Bubbles and Wojtek. Bubbles will take it.
Kassir, and
Kassir will take 15th ahead
Okay,
of
I
Lolo,
guess,
and that is
wait.
all of our drivers, yeah.
Wait. Is it
Interesting
all
race.
of them?
I did not
who's racing?
note before, but Kato as
Is
well.
it Kada?
Taking that point for fastest lap, that'll definitely pay in spades when it comes to the
Yeah, oh, it's Kato and
the
Deuce
driver
Machina.
standings at the end of this
Alright,
race.
I guess
and
that's it.
Massima, P2 and P3 and P2 in the standings as of right now. We'll have to see how those points tally up. We'll have to see how those points tally up, because I do not think that 19 point... I don't think Kato's lead is completely gone yet, but it'll be quite close when we end up on the standings in a few moments. But overall, what a tight, crashy, absolutely chaotic feature race that was. The top 3 of the driver standings are our top 3 today, in a slightly different order though. Kato taking the win here, Matima and Kato in 2nd and 3rd, Figueroa in P4, trying that alternate strategy quite well to get through the pack. Eurist in P5, then Pumpkin, 6Y, Kiato, Marketer, and Ethan round out our top 10. Behind them, Golormi, Flix in 11th and 12th, Bubbles in 13th, then Wojtek, Kassir, and Lololol are finishers for today. Goose, Tixman, and Saucy are retirements. And that is...
Small congrats to Flix for taking his first CL points in his first CL weekend. So welcome to Challenger League.
Yeah, and it was quite
big
close
result for
here.
him. He was running in
between 12th and
top half of the
P9.
standings for the majority of the race there, but just wasn't able to keep it to the end. Those medium tires just maybe a bit better strategy to come up with for the next race or two, but solid showing for a debut, of course. But that is all for today. That is the end of round 7, and the competition at the top is really heating up. We'll have to see what the final 3 rounds of this league will bring in store. But for next week, we have our first trip to Norway in Challenger League history, heading to the Arctic Circle Raceway. We'll see you then.